If you passed this guy on the street, you would think he's just another mild-mannered, middle-aged white guy. But instead, this guy has the most insane dad lore of anyone I've read about. If you're not familiar with his work, you actually are. Because this is a guy who is largely responsible for America's favorite bubblegum, Big League Chew. His name is Todd Field, and as a teenager in Portland, Oregon, he was a bat boy for an independent baseball team, the Portland Mavericks. And it is said that one day while Field was trying to fit in with the baseball players who were all chewing tobacco, Field, a teenager at the time, would cut up licorice and stuff that in his mouth instead. And when they saw this in 1977, Rob Nelson, a pitcher with the Mavericks, and Jim Bouton, then on the Mavericks, former MLB All-Star with the Yankees,
as manager Barra uses Jim Bouton, a 21-game winner last year,
they got an idea, bubblegum, that acted as if it were chewing tobacco, and the name Big League Chew. But as minor league baseball players kind of living out of their suitcase, they didn't have a proper kitchen, so they asked their bat boy, Todd Field, if they can use his family's kitchen. To which they go and create the prototype of Big League Chew in Todd Field's family kitchen. Decades later, and Big League Chew has sold over 1 billion pouches and changed the gum game forever. So Field, as just a teenager, helps inspire and helps create Big League Chew, and then kind of just moves on with his life. He studies acting, and less than a decade later, at the age of 23, he makes his feature film debut in Radio Days. A Woody Allen movie is his first movie. At the time, your first acting credit with Woody Allen, that's pretty cool. If that was it for Field, helped invent Big League Chew and in a Woody Allen movie, that's already enough lore for a lifetime. But he does some more acting, including showing up in a small part in Twister, a beloved popcorn movie. And then a few years later, he shows up in Eyes Wide Shut, where he actually plays a pretty important character, across from Tom Cruise, the biggest star in the world. And it was while filming Eyes Wide Shut that Field says he learned a lot about the art of directing from Stanley Kubrick.
And he asked me a lot of questions about what I was thinking and why I wanted to do it, and he very gently offered me some extremely valuable advice.
So that's Big League Chew, Woody Allen, Twister, and Stanley Kubrick, and he's in his early 30s. So what happens next? Field directs his first movie, In the Bedroom. It's nominated for 5 Academy Awards. If that sounds abnormal, it is because it is. He makes his debut feature and everyone sort of anoints him, they say. He's got the juice. So how does he follow it up? Well, he doesn't make a movie for 5 more years, and then he makes Little Children, and this gets Kate Winslet a Best Actress nomination. And when you consider that Sissy Spacek got a Best Actress nomination for In the Bedroom, he's now 2 for 2 with his lead actresses getting a Best Actor nomination. And you can say the Oscars are meaningless and that art shouldn't be classified like that, but yet 2 for 2 is kind of nuts. I think it's got to mean something that Field is able to get these out of these actresses. So that's 2 for 2 on nominations for Best Actress, and then you factor in his screenplay work.
Rob Festinger and Todd Field for In the Bedroom, based on the story Killings by Andre Dubus.
Todd Field and Tom Perrotta for Little Children, based on the novel by Tom Perrotta.
And then nobody hears anything from him for 15 years. By all accounts, he's hanging out in Maine and doing commercial work, and there's a lot of projects that don't come all the way to fruition. For 15 years, no one heard a peep, and movie fans were kind of upset because they were like, this guy was young, and he was really good, and he doesn't make movies anymore. And then in 2022, he showed up with Tar, which, yeah, it's one of the best of the decade. And guess what? Another Best Actress nomination and another Screenplay nomination. He is literally batting 100. And the average person would have no idea who this guy is. And if you have no idea about his 3 feature movies and you've never seen them and you've never heard of them, well, all your favorites do. Tar came out and Martin Scorsese couldn't get enough of it. Paul Thomas Anderson wishes he made that movie.
And it's directed with such perfectly controlled mayhem and glee by Todd that it's really hard not to drool as another director.
And then he says, I think I'm done making movies. That was maybe the last one. 3 for 3 over 20 years, and he can just stroll down the street with no one bothering him. When he's flipping through cable TV on a Wednesday night, there's a good chance he sees himself in a beloved Hollywood classic. But there's an even greater chance he sees an old childhood buddy in one of those movies in Kurt Russell, because don't think I forgot who was the star player of the Portland Mavericks all those years ago. It was Kurt Russell. Before he was an A-lister, he was playing baseball for the Portland Mavericks for his dad, Bing Russell. Kurt was actually a pretty good baseball player. He got to Double-A before he got injured and focused on acting. And yet, it was Todd Field who was hanging out with him 40, 50 years ago. And then if he changes the channel once more, maybe he'll get to see 1975's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, where he'll say, oh yeah, that was written by my father-in-law. Because here's more dad lore from Field. He's married to the daughter of Bo Goldman. Who's Bo Goldman? Legendary screenwriter. He's won 2 Academy Awards.
The winners are Lawrence Hauben and Bo Goldman for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
So yeah, I think he's the dad lore final boss. He's hanging out with Kurt Russell as a youth. He helps create Big League Chew. He acts in his first movie in a Woody Allen movie. He's in Twister. Then he does Eyes Wide Shut, where he learns a lot from Stanley Kubrick, kind of is mentored by him. Then he makes 3 movies, beloved, doesn't do anything else. You don't hear from him forever. His father-in-law, awesome screenwriter, and he can just walk on the streets of Maine and no one bothers him because he kind of blends in, because he's pretty normal looking. And you might not know that this guy has done all this. In his little blurb for the Kubrick book, he says the authors have broken new ground and achieved what many of us thought was impossible, that of supplying us with absolutely everything one could ever want to know about Stanley Kubrick. I don't know that that's true, Todd Field. I'm sure you got a lot you could also share. I don't know that there could possibly be enough time to sit around and have a conversation with this guy and have him tell you stories. Yeah, one day we were on the set with Stanley, and Tom and Nicole, Kidman said to me, and every time I walk through the grocery store and I'm about to check out and I see Big League Chew, I'm like, oh yeah, I invented that. Oh yeah, I'm watching Taxi Driver on TCM. Oh yeah, Martin Scorsese said, I wish I could make movies like that. Ultimate dad lore, he seems to be very happy in Maine. Very happy being low-key. Todd Field, we need you, man. We need you. I'll chip in. I'll give you $5,000. Maybe that will buy the crew lunch for a couple of days, but it'll be worth it. His movies are great. He's got insane lore, insane stories to tell his children. If there has ever been anyone who should start a podcast, it's Todd Field. I hope you guys enjoyed.